Welcome to the Huddle with Rome. We got a special guest, man. I got my boy, one of my main men, one of my dogs, my best friends, Ashante Ross coming. Damn, you got right on when I'm doing the intro, but it's all good. What's up? What's up, boy? What's good?
What's
Hey,
good with
back
you,
up,
brother?
man. You too close. Back up.
What you mean I'm too close, bro?
Oh, you look good, though. What's good, man? What's up, man? Welcome to the Huddle with Rome, man. I'm glad to have you. I literally was just doing your intro. You know what? I might not even edit that part. I might not even edit that part. So, what's good, man? How you doing?
What's good with you, man?
Man, I started my podcast. Obviously, you know that.
hmm
So I had to get you on here, man. It's been, we've been trying to get this done for a couple weeks, but hey, we here
Yeah,
now.
finally. I was just telling my wife that been trying to get me on for a couple weeks.
Oh,
Finally got
that's
it
good.
situated.
All right,
I'm
yeah.
excited.
So, yeah, man. So before we get into it, I always start with a question. Some maybe like me and you know.
hmm
When we was freshmen in high school,
Oh man,
who car we used to steal?
you can tell my sisters and what's her name, Ashley
Yeah,
Shetterford,
yeah, we used to just drive in the parking lot, no permit, no L's,
around the island. No permit yet. No
so
no L's. Nothing.
nothing. So literally, if you know DeLaSalle is literally on the island, so we'd go right outside the front of the building, take the car keys, hop in the whip, and drive around the island. The island was about a mile, but hey, that's how I guess. Hey, that's how I learned how to drive for real.
I mean, I have ventured out a couple times with Shannon before, but yeah, that was definitely something we probably shouldn't have been doing, but it was fun. Hey,
Yeah, hey, we was a real New Jersey drive.
trying to tell you.
Hey, so first question, man. Just talk about your upbringing. Where you from? Like where you grew up. So let's talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, so from South Side Minneapolis, South Sider. I know you're a North Sider, but South Sider, born in Minneapolis. Grew up, went to a few different elementary schools. Went to Erickson, went to Ramsey, went to Kinney. So yeah, I went to three different elementary schools. Moved around a little bit over on the South Side, and then I finished off going to middle school right across from Kinney. We went to Anthony Middle School. So yeah.
What neighborhood was you from when you in Minneapolis? You say you're South Minneapolis. What neighborhood was
Yeah,
you?
so as far back as I can remember, over on Park, so right around the corner from 38th in Chicago.
You was in the
And
hood.
then, yeah, in the hood.
Come
Oh,
on, talk about it, bro. Like that's what we here for.
so yeah, right around the corner from 38th in Chicago, right across the street from Phelps Park. I don't know if they renamed it by now, but it was Phelps Park when I
Yeah,
was
it's
over
still
there.
Phelps. It's still
Still Phelps,
Phelps.
okay. So yeah, right over there. And then as I got a little bit older, when I went to Erickson, that was right over on Hiawatha, so right by the light rail. Um, Probably 15, 20 minutes from the Mall of America, right over there on Hiawatha. So down the street from Roosevelt, actually.
Okay. So you live with your mom and pops, man. Let's talk about
Yep,
mom and pops. How they
yep.
doing right now?
They doing good, man. So yeah, grew up, mom, pops, my sister. I'm the youngest of five, so I got three older brothers from Milwaukee. But for the most part, it was me and my sister growing up with my parents. Um, Mom's from New York, dad is from Milwaukee. They met some crazy story how they met. Mom was coming out to Minnesota for fashion design school. My dad was in the military and he was on his way down south actually and stopped in Minneapolis and met her at like a restaurant bar and never left.
She got
Crazy.
him.
So that's how they met, and then yeah, the rest is history. So that's how they met, and then yeah, grew up over there. Went to Redeemer Missionary Baptist Church over on the south side as well. So grew up over there. That was pretty much my upbringing. Definitely church every Sunday. Played the drums for church. So yeah,
So you the youngest of all the siblings?
yeah, youngest of five. Everybody's me and my sister 2 years apart, and after that, everybody's 3 years apart.
That's right. Dang, that's crazy. And you the tallest out of all your
Yeah,
siblings.
yeah, bigger than everybody, which is crazy because they used to. Obviously, I'm the youngest, so they used to definitely give it to me when I was young, and it's
Right.
crazy now that I'm just bigger than everybody. But God works in mysterious ways.
Oh yeah, definitely. So growing up over south, like off of 38th in Chicago, obviously that's the hood. Like, Was there any time like when you was walking out the house or you seen any crazy thing growing up? Because obviously, I got a lot of crazy Northside stories. Like, is there anything like that you saw when you was younger that was like, man, this is crazy?
Honestly, like I said, growing up, pretty much was everything we did pretty much was all in church. I didn't really start entering like and all that stuff until this time. Just seeing over on Lake Street, we was on the already as far as getting shot as we was walking always street every time yeah. So yeah, it was crazy. And then being over on that it was stable street slowing 30 down leaving leaving things like that. I really thought it was a thing because that certain things like you be down. My parents didn't really let me be around that kind of stuff. So it's sleep on it at the time. So now I'm older, I know growing up I was just normal.
All right, bet. All right, so when did you start playing sports? What like when you like obviously you over Southside, so you right next to Phelps.
Mhm.
Was that a park you played for at first?
Yeah, so crazy story. Like Zell, who went to DeLaSalle as well, they came to my church. Me and him met in like Sunday school, and we both had the same birthday. So his pops was talking to my pops and was like, "Oh yeah, he's a coach over at Powderhorn." So that was like my first time ever playing a sport. So he was at church, and then they gave my pops the information and all that. So they signed me up for football. So went over there, played football. That was my first time ever playing football. I want to say that was probably in third grade, third or fourth grade. Yeah, that was my first time playing a sport over at Powderhorn Park, South Side. And then right after football ended, that was my first time playing basketball as well for Powderhorn. So yeah, about third grade is when I first officially started playing sports.
Did you continue to play through sport at Phelps like until you got to middle school, or did you switch?
So I didn't even play at Phelps. I was at Powderhorn.
Oh, you was at Powderhorn. My bad.
And then I want to say my end of my third grade year, they had a baseball team at Phelps. So that was my first time playing baseball. So I played baseball for Phelps. Because I don't think Powderhorn, they didn't have a baseball team. I don't know if they do now, but went over there, played baseball, played football, basketball for Powderhorn. And then once I got to middle school, I played for Anthony. So I stopped kind of playing Park League once I got to middle school.
So when you was playing for Powderhorn, when you was playing football, were you bigger than everybody at the time, or was you little?
Uh, I thought I was like normal size, but like in the classroom and everything like that, people always like used to tell my parents like I was bigger than everybody, so they used to like always think I was doing something because I was like bigger than everybody. I didn't pay no attention, but apparently I was. But yeah, definitely had like baby weight on me and everything like that. My first year playing football, I was like O line for sure, O
For
line
sure.
and D line. Basketball, I was. I don't think I was tall, but I was a little bit bigger than everybody, so I was down in the center position, power forward position. And then yeah, I don't think I really started growing until probably sixth, seventh grade is when I hit my first growth spurt.
So and when you hit your growth spurt, how tall was you then? In sixth,
Uh,
seventh grade.
Middle school, I was probably, I think sixth grade, I was probably about 6 foot, 6'1". And then by eighth grade, I was about 6'2". And then after eighth grade, I think I grew about an inch or 2 inches every summer.
You was 6'2" in the eighth grade.
Yeah, 6'2", wearing my dad's shoes, size 12, which was
That's
crazy. I go in the closet like, hey, let me wear the, I got a presentation or something. Can I wear your dress shoes? Oh,
that's crazy. And obviously, you probably still had that baby weight on you too. So like, you was just like kind of like a chubby 6'2", huh?
yeah, facts. Yeah, like definitely started. You could definitely see the recognition of growing between seventh and eighth grade,
Right.
and then yeah, still face fat, all that. And then obviously you met me freshman year, so I was still like I was taller, but I was still like kind of heavy. Like even
Thanks.
looking back at the pictures, I was like definitely was still kind of heavy for sure.
Did you play any AAU growing up?
No, I didn't. So, which was crazy because like when I met y'all, obviously Bryce, I went to elementary school with Bryce, who went to DeLaSalle, which is crazy how all that worked. John Hurdle, me and him went to elementary school. We went to Kinney together, and we went to middle school together. And it was funny how we all just ended up being at DeLaSalle together. But no, they all played AAU. I had never played AAU. I didn't even know what AAU was. I didn't start playing AAU until I ended up moving to Vegas.
All right, let's slow down. So me and
So
John
ahead
played.
of the
So
ball.
me and John, yeah, me and John played AAU together. So it's crazy. So like seventh and eighth grade, me and John played AAU together. I wish we'd have known you. He knew you. We definitely needed you on our squad. So that's funny. Like y'all was going to school together. Talk about that. How was it going to school with Hurdle?
It was dope, man. Like I said, I knew him since we went to Kinney together, first, second grade over at Kinney, and then we wound up. Even though I went to Ramsey, and then I'm going to Erickson down the street from my house on Hiawatha. Wound up going to Anthony for middle school. So it was. We played football over there together. We played basketball and we played baseball. Won the basketball championship our eighth grade year, and we won the baseball championship. I want to say my eighth grade year, he ended up getting hurt. I remember he hit his face on the floor, ended up getting stitches in his eye, and then came back in the game. He ended up diming me off. I hit the winning shot for the eighth grade championship. So that was dope. Yeah. Then we ended up winning our baseball championship as well that year. So
Did
winning
you
is in the blood for sure.
for sure? Who did y'all play in the championship?
For basketball, I can't remember. I cannot remember. But
Okay,
it was funny because it was people that I knew from playing at Powderhorn too.
okay. Was it a
So
South Side school or was it a North Side school?
I want to say it was a Northside school,
Probably like Lincoln or something.
maybe. But yeah, it was definitely people that would like play for Powderhorn, but like live kind of on that side.
Okay. So you grew up close to like Roosevelt, right? That was like your home school.
Yeah, it was down the street. Yep.
So when it came to high school, what made you go to De La Salle?
So my sister went there. Me and her are 2 years apart in age, but when we were freshmen, she was a senior at D. But also our older cousins went there back in the day as well. Cheerleaded there. They graduated from there. So my dad already knew that it was his niece and nephew, or excuse me, his nieces. So being that they went there, obviously good school for athletics. Christianity and all that kind of stuff. So they wanted us to go there and get a good education, but also they knew it was good for sports as well for me. So my sister went there, and then it was just kind of a no-brainer that I was going to go there as well. So
Yeah. Were you at that freshman orientation, aka dance? Were you there?
absolutely, I think that was the first time me and you met.
Me and you met, right? Yeah. So talk about that. So I was super shocked because like when I shadowed De La Salle, I seen a few dudes I know, but like obviously I didn't. I'm like, man, this well, I don't know. But when I got there and I seen like everybody that I grew up playing basketball with, football with, and obviously I seen you, like I was like, wow, we're gonna be nice like for some
Mm-hmm.
years like this. Talk
Facts. Yeah,
about
I
that. Like,
remember. I remember when you came in, like, because I was already there, I believe, and then I think I was there with Bryce. 'Cause I didn't know anybody either outside of like when I shadowed. I knew obviously Zell, who was a year older than us, and then people through my sister, but talking about our actual freshman class, I didn't really know anybody going in. So definitely was nervous going in. And then I seen Bryce, I seen Hurdle. I was like, all right, cool. So I know a couple people. And then you came in and you knew them already. So we automatically kind of just started conversing. And then I just remember us sitting at the table and then introducing everybody to people that we didn't know. And then after that, it was like we knew each other from birth. It was crazy.
yeah, that forever. All right, so you get the deal so your freshman year, and obviously we both played freshman football. I just had D Boone on the pod and we talked about like how cold we was. Like we was it was crazy how nice we
Facts.
was. Coach Bryce, Coach Grant, Coach Rob, like they really had us together.
Yeah.
So you played center and what, D line, right?
Yeah, I played center in those.
And nose guard. Bro, we was cold, bro. Do you remember, is there any game that stood out for you that year?
Ah, I don't, not really, man. Because I probably say the only one that really stood out was when we played at Roosevelt. I forget who we was playing, but I remember us playing at Roosevelt. Um,
We played
obviously,
Roosevelt.
was we playing Roosevelt?
Yeah, it was a
Okay,
JV
yeah,
team.
yeah, we was playing them, and I remember that game for sure. Because that was a real, I think it was a close game, and like I remember I was running on the sideline one time, got blindsided, I knocked out of bounds. So I remember that game. I remember another game. Coach Rob was on the side, and it was a defensive play, and I'm rushing the quarterback. Almost got a sack, but ended up forcing him to throw an interception. And I just remember him on the side, like, that's pressure, Tay. That's how you do it. That's pressure. Going crazy. Like, I think you caught the interception, by the fact. I ain't gonna hold you.
Probably.
Like I'm pretty sure you caught the interception. Like it started running it back. I don't think you ran it all the way back, but we ended up winning the game right after that. So definitely that was a good season for sure. And then I
I know
remember,
what you're talking about. It was against Breck, and I did
yeah,
run it back. I
did you?
did run that back. I definitely, cause you had the quarterback and he kind of like slung it, and you had
Yeah,
bamboozled on the ground. Yeah, that
ended
was
up
against
catching it.
Breck, bro.
Yeah,
I caught that joint, took off. Yep,
yep. So
yeah,
I
that's
remember
cool.
that.
Do you remember the St. Croix Lutheran game? Do you remember that game? It was our second game of
It
the
was
season.
was it a Saturday?
I don't know what it was, but no, it was a weekday game. Cause it was like, and then like, do you remember like we were going back and forth, and then I caught that game winning touchdown. Do you remember that game?
Vaguely, vaguely I do. Yeah,
Vaguely. Yeah, okay. So anywho, yeah, football was dope. We was undefeated. We killed everybody. It was fun.
hell of a season.
I still have the I still have this. You see this? The freshman
Slide
highlight
over a little
tape.
bit.
Oh
The
my
highlight
fault. I got
tape.
it like backwards. It's Walter's freshman, like 2006. I got
Crazy.
it, bro. So yeah, like I got all that stuff still. Shout out to Walt, you ain't getting this back. But nah, bro, I just always think about them times, and I just like, man, we really had some dudes on our team. Cause obviously, Muhammad's on our team, all that. Like,
Yeah, Big
we
Mo.
had a
Yeah.
squad, man. Like, so talk about how DeLaSalle was for you at like coming from public school. Like, how was that transition from to public to private? And just talk about some of your early memories being in private school at DeLaSalle.
I mean, for real, it was pretty seamless because it didn't really seem like it was a private school. Because I mean, we all were kind of like we didn't go to private elementary schools or nothing like that. Like I know a couple people did. Like a couple people I played baseball with, they ended up at De La Salle as well. For the Hiawatha team, they went to like private elementary schools. So they were like kind of used to it. But for real, after meeting everybody and meeting you, it was like seamless. It didn't really seem like private school. I probably say the biggest adjustment was like having mass and then the prayers, which was cool. Obviously, we all go to church and everything like that. It wasn't nothing wrong with that by any means. But just doing that at school. I still remember St. John Baptist De La Salle, pray for
Pray
us,
for
lift
us
Jesus in our hearts forever. Like I
forever.
remember that. Like I still remember that. Like which was cool, man. Like it was definitely different, but I remember doing that. But it was pretty seamless though, for real. Like I didn't feel honestly like it was a private school because it was all of us and just how we interacted with each other. It was dope.
Bro, and talk about the demographics, bro. Tell people at De La Salle it was when people think of private school, like you think predominantly white, bro. Tell
Yeah,
the people, bro, how black De La Salle was, bro.
it really was. Like I used to tell people it was a black Catholic school, honestly.
On
Like
everything.
when I got to Vegas and people was like, "Oh, you went to private school, you went to Catholic school, like you Catholic?" I was like, "Nah," but really good sports team. My family went there, my sister went there, and I was like, honestly, it was majority black people there for real. For us, from my perspective, that's how it seemed, honestly. So
Facts. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be telling people that too. Like, man, I went to a black private school. Like, I didn't go to no like predominantly white private school. Like, all my
right,
close friends is black, and I'm not saying I ain't got no white friends, but like I feel like I was in class. Well, the sports teams were
yeah,
predominantly black. You know,
100%.
like the main sports for sure. Um, so after football, we get into freshman basketball, and obviously, we had some people in our class make JV, but me and you were on the freshman team, and that's when you started to like thin out, and then I think you got a little taller too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely was still growing for sure.
So you was playing center, and we had a whip. So we had me, you, Jalen Williams, Walt, Joe Cunningham. Who else we had on that team, man? We had
Danny,
Ben Hickman. Who else?
Danny was on there too, no?
Nah, DY wasn't on the team at the time.
DY went on there.
No, DY. What happened with DY? I think DY had like some. They played him because I think he had like some academic issues or something like that.
Ah, I
But
got
he
you.
he did come to the. I think he came on the squad at the end of the year though. But who else was on that team, bro? Like
Hugger,
Kyle Hugger was on
yep,
it,
Hugger was on
but
there.
he was on the B squad first, but
Yeah, then he ended up switching.
then he switched up. But we had a whip, boy. We we was
Nah,
running
facts.
fools. I remember
Undefeated
one
season
time,
there too, no?
huh?
Didn't we go undefeated in basketball too?
No, I think we lost I think we lost to Henry, North, Hopkins,
Oh
and I
yeah, we
think we
did lose
lost
enough for sure.
to Tino Grace. And then we got upset by Concordia, I believe.
Mm.
But other than that, though, like
Yeah,
we
I don't
used
feel
to,
like we lost too many for real, for real.
we didn't lose many games, bro. And if we
Yeah.
did lose, it was only by like 1 or 2 points. It wasn't nobody ever blew us out.
Hmm.
So let's talk about that. Like talk about we had Coach Gru, Coach
Yep.
DC, and then do you remember Coach Rob, the dude with the braids that barely came to practice?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you know what's funny? What's funny about that? Coach DC is the head coach at Apple Valley. Coach Gru's assistant. Walt's over there, and then Coach Rob is there as well. So it's kind of funny that it's
Full
like
circle
full
moment,
circle.
man.
Yeah, for sure. So let's just talk about like that freshman year playing and like how was that for you?
Freshman year was crazy because, man, like, obviously I played basketball. I had been playing basketball. When I played for Powderhorn, we won mad city championships. Like, we was in the championship for the city every year. So, like, I come accustomed to winning, playing baseball, basketball, and football. But when I got to high school, I was like, I think I just want to do football. Like, I had stopped playing baseball. I wasn't going to play baseball in high school. I was just going to play football. And then the day of trials, I wasn't even going to go. So, like, I think I was at church. Yeah, we had choir practice, so like I'm there playing the drums, obviously, and like I wasn't even gonna go, and then like last minute, I told my pops and my sister like, yeah, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go ahead and play. So I ended up coming late to the trials, and I remember I came in, they was doing micing drills, and I think Coach Grew was like, he was like, okay, cool, you had church, whatever, no worries, whatever, got me in the loop, got going, but like I wasn't even gonna play, which is crazy. Like I was literally just gonna play football.
What?
So
Hey,
yeah.
bro, all this time I didn't know that.
Yeah, I came late. Like I was not gonna play basketball. I was literally just gonna focus on football. I was like, I want to play football in college. Like I'm gonna just stick to football, and I was gonna just play one sport.
What, bro? I did not know that. That's crazy. What was the like? What was your thought process on that? You just like I'm just gonna stick to one thing and just keep it
Yeah,
pushing.
man. Like I don't know. It was either gonna be football or baseball. Like I played first base in baseball. I was really solid. I was growing. I was taller. I've always been pretty long, my arms and everything. So like I was solid in baseball. So I was like, let's play football or baseball. Like I was decent in basketball, obviously, but that wasn't my thought process. It was like I'm gonna just play football. And
You didn't think you was nice at basketball. That's what it was.
I don't know, cause like I was, like I said, I was killing it, Anthony. Like I was solid, but I was like football. I don't know. Somebody had mentioned it to me, like you got a better chance to get a scholarship for football because there's more scholarships, more people, whatever may
Right.
have you. Um, and yeah, something just told me like, nah, just go. And yeah, we ended up. They dropped me off. We ended up going, and obviously made the 18 freshman squad. Um, and yeah, we got into the season, man. It was solid. Like
Man.
I had a blast. We had, like you said, we had a killer squad. Um, Definitely had some dogs on that team for sure.
Man, for sure. And I be telling people like even I mentioned in the last interview, like if the our core group would have stuck together, it would have been curtains for everybody. It was already curtains with the people we had, but if we
Mm-hmm.
would have like if you would have stayed, Muhammad, Jalen Williams, like all that,
It would
Derek
have
and stayed, it'd have been ridiculous. So so we go through freshman year, right? We get to the season. Do you remember when Joe bust my eye open at
been. Hmm.
practice?
Yeah, we had some bloody days for sure.
Man, so we doing something like still like I think we was like supposed to take the ball or something. I stole the ball from him. He stole it from me. Then I stole it again, and then the ball rolled on the ground. And I think I dived, and he dived, and he hit my head. And I was like, "Oh
Yeah, it was leaking.
shit!" And I got up. He was like, "Yep." He was like, "Bro, your shit bleeding." I'm like,
It
"What?"
leaking.
It was leaking, bro. I'm talking about it was just
Yeah.
everywhere because I
Nah,
just remember you pointing and telling
I
me that.
remember
I'm
that.
like,
I remember
I'm like,
I knocked Hugger tooth out.
yeah,
I
bro,
remember that. We had some bloody days, man. I had
man.
braces at the time. I remember I got hit in the mouth. Lip was all stuck to the joint, bleeding. Like yeah,
Man,
we was in there going at it for sure.
yeah, that was crazy. You know, it's crazy because after that happened with me and Joe, I had ended up getting I had went to the ER and got 9 stitches. I think varsity had a game. I came back though. I tried to get some sympathy from the girls. Like, oh, what
That
happened to your
sounds
eye?
just like you.
Yeah, you know, they was on it though. So we go through freshman year, man. We finish up and you end up transferring. At first, I remember you was telling me like, "Yeah, I'm finna just go to Roosevelt," because obviously Shannon graduated, and it was a period where you were out of school for like a month.
Yeah,
So
facts.
let's talk
Before we
about
left.
that.
Yeah,
Into your
so
sophomore year.
we had got into everything because obviously I was playing football still. So yeah, we was doing summer workouts, all of that. Um, yeah, I remember we was like into it. Like we had been doing 2 days, all of that. So like we was well into summer workouts already. And then like yeah, right before school started, my parents had let us know like, hey, we're gonna be moving to Vegas. Um, definitely caught me off guard. I knew they used to go there every year for their anniversary, and they just loved it out there. Loved the temperature, just loved the atmosphere, all of that. So yeah, they just kind of say, yeah, we're gonna be moving. Obviously, I'm going into sophomore as a high school. I don't really have a say in the matter or whatever. So I was just like, I mean, all right, cool, whatever, I guess. So in that time, it was like we thought we were going to be moving a little bit quicker, and obviously for DeLaSalle, you got to pay tuition and everything. It was private school, so they weren't going to pay for me to go to school for a month and end up paying the whole tuition or whatever they were trying to do.
Right.
So they was just like, all right, cool. So you'll just wait, you'll go to Roosevelt. But then what happened was D wouldn't give me my transcripts. So I couldn't even go to Roosevelt. So couldn't go to Roosevelt. So like, yeah, that whole month before we left, I was just at the crib. School had started. And then we finally end up moving. So we ended up moving to Henderson, Nevada, which is pretty much South Vegas, essentially.
Mhm.
And I ended up going to Liberty High School out there. And even then, I still didn't have my transcripts, but I could at least go to school. So I didn't even get to play my first half of the season for basketball when I got there because D hadn't given me my transcripts up yet.
Wow.
So
Dang.
yeah, I
So
sat out. I could only practice. I couldn't play I couldn't play any games the whole first half of the season, my sophomore year.
were you on JV or was you on varsity?
So I was on JV, but I was practicing with varsity because after we got into the season, everything obviously I kept growing. I think at this time, sophomore year, I was probably 6'3" at this point. So I'm practicing with varsity. Right after JV practice, I would go into varsity practice. So I was basically doing 2 days, which was cool because I couldn't play in any games. And yeah, I ended up playing second half of the season. And then once JV season ended, varsity was going into the playoffs. So I got knocked up to go play for the varsity team for the playoffs as they tried to make a championship run. So
Okay. So how was that transition, man? Like obviously you leaving Minnesota, you leaving all your friends, you just got established at DeLaSalle, you see the potential we had, and then your whole world just get uprooted. So like how was that? Like how was you feel? What was your emotion at that time? Because I know it probably sucked. I remember seeing you a little bit before you left, and you was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm gone." I'm
yeah,
like, "Man." I was sick though. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was like, "Man, I
it
was
was it
hurt,
was
low key."
definitely tough, man. Because like obviously we had just had a full year together, met a bunch of new people, met some upperclassmen that was going to be returning as well. Some people I already knew as well. So I was looking forward to like honestly graduating from D. Like that was going to be dope. Like that was my sister graduated from there. My two older cousins graduated from there. So I was looking forward to it, man. We would have been like you said, we would have been nice and everything we did, football, basketball, we was going to be nice for sure. Um, but I mean, you roll with the punches. So like, I got out there, was definitely nervous. Liberty was like a college prep school, so it wasn't a private school, but like we did have to wear not uniforms, but special colors. So Liberty, red, white, and blue. So we had to wear only those colors. So getting there, it was like I ain't know nobody. Obviously, I'm tall, 6'3". I definitely thinned out at this point. I'm probably 6'3", buck 75. So I'm mad skinny now. So obviously, people look at like, oh, who's a new tall kid, whatever may have you. Um, and when I'm enrolling for gym class, I meet the basketball coach or whatever. He's like, oh, you play basketball? I'm like, yeah. So I'll be trying out for the team, whoop de whoop, all of that. But I think I immediately ended up meeting folks just off of my height. Honestly, people just naturally would come up to me, talk like, "Oh, you gonna be playing basketball?" And then like I've always been a talker, and like even if I'm nervous and don't really want to talk to people, like I can spark up a conversation with anybody off the strength. So after I did that, like I started connecting with people like within the first couple of days. So
Yeah, talk about this. You leave the frozen tundra and you go to like
yes,
80
sir.
degree. You go to 80-degree weather every day. Like, how was that for you? Like, you ain't have to wear no winter coat, nothing. Like, how
Yeah,
was that?
it was crazy, man. Like going from like you said, Minnesota, growing up there, born and raised, having blizzards, negative 20 degrees, like all kind of crazy stuff like that, to now going to Vegas. It was definitely a shock. Like waking up for school is 7, 8 in the morning. It's already like 102 degrees. Like was crazy. So I definitely had to get used to that. And then wintertime was like dope. I could wear a hoodie year round. Like everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. I got on shorts and a hoodie. I'm good. I'm like, bro, I just left negative 15 degrees right now where I'm coming from, so it's good. Um, but yeah, it was a vibe though. Like just meeting people out there and getting accustomed to West Coast culture, and like, I got some lifelong friends that I met out there as well. So it was definitely a good experience.
So after your sophomore year, obviously, you turn your JV. I mean, your junior year, you
Hmm.
end up. Are you on varsity at this point, or what? How is that going for you?
Yeah, yeah. Junior year, so I ended up playing in a couple playoff games because somebody ended up getting like our 6'8" power forward. He ended up getting suspended for a game as we were in the playoffs. So naturally, I was better than a few people that was already on varsity before me. So I ended up actually playing my sophomore year, and then going into my junior year, I was a starter. So
Right. So, what position did they have you playing? Because you play center here.
yeah, so
Really?
there was a kid named Milos. He was 6'8". He ended up going to Bradley, D1 guy from Serbia. So he was technically our center, but he could shoot. So he was on the outside. So he and I kind of just played in and out, mid range game, high low. So I was more so a power forward because I wasn't like big. I was like 6'3", 6'4", buck 80. So can't really put me in
Right.
the center because you put me up against the actual center, they're gonna body me.
Right.
But I was still kind of power forward. So
So, so what? Any notable games that year? Like any games you was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm finna do. Because obviously you didn't play. You didn't play football at Liberty.
nah, they were asking me, especially as I kept growing, getting taller. I remember the coach out there. He was like, "Hey," kind of reminded me of the scholarship thing. Like, "Yo, more scholarships in football. Like, come play wide out." My boy Ant, he was like probably 6'4", 6'5", played wide receiver. He ran track as well. And he was like, "Yo, Twin Towers, you could be on this side, he on that side." And I was just like, "Nah." I remember seeing them out there doing barrel rolls or whatever y'all call them in football. Where it's 110 they out there.
No
I
way.
said, "No, sir, I'm good on that." So yeah, I declined it. Then, especially after kind of playing basketball that sophomore year and seeing like, oh shit, I'm actually like I'm fucking dog actually.
Right.
I was
You're
like,
actually
I don't
good.
even want to play football. Like, yo, I'm about to play basketball in college, and that kind of like solidified it for me. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to play basketball. I ain't playing baseball. Dead. Just about to focus on basketball.
Okay. All right. So what is the game like your junior year like that you feel like you arrived? Like what was your game where you was like, oh, it's my coming out party? Because I was like you said you played your sophomore year a few games, but now you're starting. You're getting the
Hmm.
minutes. I'm sure you're a future player. What was the game that you was like, yeah, I'm here and I'm here to stay?
I'll probably say my junior year we were playing this north side of Vegas team called Canyon Springs. Um, Hit a game winner. My point guard, I think it was Kenneth or Cam. They were brothers. Jumped me off, hit the game winner for that, and I was like, yo, that was like a good feeling, like because they were talking smack the whole game. Like that's how it is out there, which I love when it's a chatty game for sure. And then we went pretty deep in the playoffs that year as well. We won the division championship, so we hung the first banner up in the gym for the school. When I got there, the school was pretty new. I think the school had only been open for like a few years, so it was a newer school out there. So we got to hang the first banner for basketball in there, so that was dope. We went pretty deep in the playoffs as well, and just being a key contributor in that run. We had a guy, obviously, I think you know Pierre Jackson, played in the league. Dog, he's like short guy, probably 5'8", but
My height.
he's a fucking dog. Obviously, made it to the NBA, so I played against him a few times, and I remember in the playoffs, like he was a driver, like he's gonna drive, get to the rack, he's gonna get fouls on you. And my coach was just like, Coach Webb was like, somebody got to get him out early. We gotta get him in foul trouble. So he like, who gonna take a charge? I was like, bet I got it. First play of the game, he drive, take a charge, boom, got his ass. Came
Mm.
back down. I want to say 3 more possessions. Came back, got his ass again. Now you gotta go sit out, bro. So that was dope. That was like a good feeling to be able to have your coach say something and then you raise your hand like, no problem, I'm gonna take care of that and make an impact on the game. So
Yeah, you took on that challenge. That's what's up. Played against Pierre Jackson. Obviously, you know that's one of my favorite dudes. Cause
yeah,
we
yeah.
talk about it. That's funny because I know like Vegas basketball is really getting put out there now. So like I know you was probably like the start of it. Like now it's like these dudes is making it to the league. Like These dudes is nice out there. I got a little cousin out there in Vegas right now. I think he's a ninth grader. I don't even know who he played for, but he's trying to make his way as well. So that's pretty
Yeah.
dope. So yeah, man. So after that, senior year come, boom. How was recruiting? Was you getting any looks?
Nah, cause like I said, I still to this point haven't played AAU, and as you know, that's where you get your looks from for the most part, like AAU circuit. So junior year, I started getting asked to play AAU, and I was still like, nah. Like again, I didn't really know much about it. A few of my teammates played, um, but yeah, nah, I was just like, whatever. You play for your school. That's how you gonna get your looks, whatever.
So you
My
wait, wait,
parents
wait,
didn't play
wait, wait,
sports, so
wait. You never played AAU
still didn't
ever,
play AAU.
not
Nah,
one game.
not one game.
Oh
So
wow, that's crazy. All right.
I started playing AAU. I want to say going into my senior year. So like towards the end of my junior year, Milos, he played for Marcus Banks, hard to guard, and Coach DB, he ended up seeing me play and reached out. Um, I think I said no the first time, honestly, and didn't go play for him. And then I ended up getting seen by another AAU team out there called the Las Vegas Prospects, sponsored by Adidas. So they were in the Adidas Super 64 circuit, going to Cali, playing Compton Magic, all of that. So I ended up playing for them first, actually. So I played for them, played for Adidas Super 64 out there in Vegas. That showcase went out to LA for the first time, played out there, which was dope, playing against what's Buddy's name? He was, I think, a freshman in high school at the time, or getting ready to be a freshman. Went to Baylor. Couldn't play anymore. I think he's in the Big Three now with the goggles.
Isaiah Austin.
Isaiah, yeah,
He's originally from he played in Minnesota at Woodbury.
gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, I played against him when I was with the Prospects, which was super dope. Um, he was like young kid. Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, that was my first time playing AAU, and then after that, started getting looks. A lot of D3s started hitting me up. A lot of Juco started hitting me up. Still hadn't gotten any D2 or D1 offers yet or anything like that. And my mindset, because again, I hadn't played AAU, I didn't really know much about college or anything like that. I thought it was D1 or nothing. I didn't know nothing about nothing else. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm not entertaining nothing else. That's just my thought process. That's all that there is. I don't know nothing about anything else. So I ended up playing for Marcus Banks hard to guard my senior year, and then that's kind of when I really started getting different looks from D2s, a lot of different D1 JUCOs and things like that. But my mindset, I still only thought about D1.
One. Right. I mean, that was the thing back then. Like it was a crazy stigma back there. Obviously, people didn't really know. We didn't. For me, I know I didn't know much about JUCOs, and people had a stigma on junior college. Like
Right.
you don't got good grades, or that's where bad kids go and stuff like that.
Exactly. And that's
Obviously,
what
it's
I thought
like
as well. I thought it was JUCO. Once I did hear about it, I was like, oh, I mean, you got bad grades. I graduated with I think a 3.3, 3.4. I didn't have to take my SAT. I
right.
only took my ACT. So, like, grades, what are we talking about? Like, nah, my grades is fine. I ain't going to no JUCO.
Right, right. So yeah, that's funny that you said that. So like, all right, so senior come, you hooping. What was there any notable players you played that year?
Um, Notable now, probably not at the time. So like my boy, we actually played AU together as well. Um, his name's Tyler Lawson. He's a coach at Utah now.
He went
Southern
to South
Utah.
Dakota, right?
Yeah, so he went to JUCO as
Yeah.
well. Actually, so we played the same AU team. He went to a D1 JUCO in Wyoming. He went to Casper, Wyoming, played for them. So we played
Yep.
against each other in college, which was crazy. Two of them went there, and then three of us went to the JUCO I went to. So we ended up playing against each other, which was dope. But yeah, he went on to play for South Dakota. Now he's a coach for Utah. He played overseas, had a good career. Um, Played with for the prospects and against. What was my boy name? He went to Baylor. Played football for Baylor and basketball. He was a dual athlete. Little point guard. What was his name? What is bro's name? I forget. I think he went to Desert Pines out there. But yeah, he played for Baylor for football and not Baylor, but Oregon, excuse me. You might know
Okay.
him. He's small. Like he's probably 5'6", bro.
Hey, I don't even know Pierre Jackson. Hey,
This dude he played for Oregon football and he played basketball for them too.
I don't even know. All right, so your senior year, and how far did y'all end up going that year?
That year I want to say we lost in the second round playoffs, so we didn't go very far. I had a good season. I averaged a double my senior year, so was doing what I was supposed to do. Did my thing. Still wasn't getting the looks that I wanted and things like that. That's why I ended up ultimately going JUCO. Turned down a couple different things that I wasn't really again thinking about at the time. Now looking back, I was like, what the hell was I thinking? But
What did you turn down?
I had a D2 offer from Adams State, which was a D2 in Colorado. And I was thinking about that too. Like, who wants to go to Colorado? Who wants to go to school there? My AU coach, he's super dope. He's real close to Gary Payton, GP2. He played on my AU team after I was gone. Played against him as well when I was in high school. He went to a school out there as well. But he had hit me up. He was like, "Hey, would you want to go to Howard?" And I was like, "Nah, I don't want to go to HBCU." I was wilding, like just not knowing, just being ignorant to basketball and being ignorant to colleges and things of that nature. Like
Cause,
it was
cause you're
it was
looking
crazy.
at like Duke, Ohio
That's
State,
all I thought it was.
Baylor,
Like
like yeah.
Minnesota, like USC. I
But
thought that's what you had to do in order to like be successful. And nobody ever like really told me that that wasn't the case. So that's what I seen. Like growing up in my church, he went to DeLaSalle as well. Allen Anderson, he grew up in the same church as me, so I knew him. Seeing him, he went and played in the NBA.
Michigan
Other
State,
dude that went to Breck, went to my church as well. He ended up playing for the Rams. He went to USC. So like
USC,
seeing these people,
Dominic
I'm like,
Bird.
yeah, Dominique Bird, like grew up in my church. So like I'm younger than them, but I knew them. So I'm seeing like, oh, they went to USC, went to Michigan State. That's what I got to
That's
do.
what.
So that's all I knew, and I thought that's what I had to do to be successful, and that's just literally so far from the truth. It's crazy.
So you end up choosing Miles Community College,
Yeah,
and that was in Montana, right?
yeah, Montana,
Was
crazy.
it Billings, Montana?
It was 2 hours from Billings.
What
So
was it?
Billings is where you fly into. Miles is 2 hours from Billings.
Miles, yeah, Miles.
Yep.
So you know what's funny about that, bro? You end up going there, right? And honestly, we were talking throughout high school, or whatever, but we wasn't
Mm-hmm.
talking as tough as we was. But when we first got to college, that's when we really got back, like,
100%.
yeah, connected, locked in, like every week. So, talk about that. So you go from Minnesota, the cold tundra, Vegas, where it's sunny, you're having the time of your life. Then you end up in Miles, Montana.
Fucking culture shock, to say the least. So going from Vegas, everything's open all the time. Like me and my teammates, me and my boys, we out all times of night, chilling, just grabbing food wherever, just kicking it. Like to going to Miles City. Miles is like I was just telling my wife this earlier. Like it's street light. It's just blinking yellow type of town. You got a Walmart. You got a couple local restaurants, one or two hotels.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's
So,
it.
so Miles, so your Juco was in a small, like, little town.
Small little town for sure. Um, Not very many black people. The only black people there was us on the team. I think it was maybe one or two other black people that lived in the town. And so,
Dang.
yeah,
Was there any other school that could have been besides Miles?
yeah, definitely. Like I said, Adams
Besides,
State.
like, besides like the Adams school, like, did
Oh yeah,
any other
I had other
JUCOs?
JUCOs that
Yeah,
were there. Coach Tate, who's my coach at Miles, he recruited me. He seen us at a tournament. Like he used to always go to Vegas to like tournaments and Christmas tournaments and things like that. And that's where he first seen me play, which is crazy because, like I said, a couple of my AAU teammates ended up coming there as well. But that's where he seen us play, like playing against each other from high school, and then he ended up recruiting us. But yeah, there was mad coaches from other JUCOs there as well, and I think, which is crazy because bro, I didn't take any visits like to nowhere. He's the only place I went to visit. Me and my pops went there, went on a visit, flew us out there, put us in the hotel,
hmm
um, played with him. So I did my workout with him, all that. Go back in and show me the campus, everything. Campus was really dope. That was my first time like being on a college campus and hung out with the team, met some people, all of that. And after my workout, we in the office and he was just like, "Yeah, so you know what we thinking?" I was like, "Yeah, I got a couple other schools I'm looking at that are looking at me as well." I was like, "I do like it here." I was like, fuck it, let's do it. He was like, you want to sign right now? I was like, yeah. He pulled out the letter of intent. I signed like right there at my visit. It was crazy.
Goofy.
I think I didn't go on any other visits or anything, but yeah, I mean, God has his reason for everything. It worked out. So
So yeah, that's funny because I used to watch your games. So I remember text you or something. We it's funny. We weren't even texting because remember my phone didn't work my freshman year. We used to talk on Facebook
uh,
every day. So I hit you up early, like man, I hope you see it. What time your game start? Boom, you just send me the link. Man, I tell you, bro, like you used to be out there hitting them threes, yo, and at this time you're like 6'6",
yeah,
right?
I don't even think I was 6'6" yet. I think my freshman year of college I was probably 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah,
And yeah, going into sophomore year is when I
6'6".
grew another inch. Yeah.
But yeah, I used to be, man, watching you play. I was like, man, this dude out there eating, dunking. I'm looking like, man, that's crazy, bro. Like, it was just dope, like watching you from afar. You know, obviously I couldn't come out there, but it was like really dope watching for afar. Obviously, we had talk after, but I was like, man, my dude playing right now. Let's man, everybody be watching. I know I used to watch by myself because I used to go right in the library when nobody was at. But then if I had a couple people with me, we would say that's little ugly computer and just watch your games on live stream. But it was dope, and I'm very grateful that live streaming was up. Cause man, I don't think I ever see nobody play like if that wasn't out. So yeah, that was real dope. So when you got the miles, obviously it's a D1 JUCO. Obviously the goals to go JUCO. Was there any dudes that you played there? So oh yeah, this dude's like that, or did you ever have any dudes on your team that was like, oh yeah, these dudes is like that?
Yeah. So when I got there, dude named James, he was older than me. He was a year ahead. He ended up going to Minnesota Crookston actually, which was crazy because he's from Detroit.
Right.
So we had a couple people from Detroit on the team. We had two teammates from France. Our center was from Nigeria. Um, we had a couple. I think that was my sophomore year. We had a dude from Serbia. So yeah, we had some dogs on the team for sure. And then playing against people like I didn't really know too many. I don't remember their names or anything, but I definitely remember playing against some people that went end up going D1, and that was dogs for sure. I think the college was Gillette College. I think that was in
Hmm.
Wyoming as well. They had some real dogs on the team. Um, Casper against my former AU teammates. They had a good squad as well. So yeah, it was some dogs. It was a really good conference. I think it was a Modat conference. So D1 JUCO, like didn't even know that. I didn't know there was levels to JUCO. So D1 is obviously the highest you can go for JUCO. So just playing in the Region 9 tournament and everything like that was real dope.
Yeah, so it's D1 JUCO and Division 3 JUCO. Ain't no D2. It's ridiculous. It's kind of
Hmm.
crazy when you think about it.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, so boom. I know. I think didn't you average something like 11 points a game your freshman year?
Yeah, which was crazy because I wasn't a starter. It was my first time ever not being a starter.
Mhm.
Um, which was wild. Like obviously when I couldn't play the first half of the season, um, in high school for my sophomore year, I didn't start right away because they didn't feel like that was fair for me to just come back and start. But eventually I did like after probably a couple games.
Yeah,
So this is my first time actually not being a starter. And JUCO is very much so obviously there's politics to it. Obviously everybody's just trying to win, but also everybody's trying to get another scholarship to go play at the next level. Um, so there was some of that because I definitely feel like I was better than some of the people that was on the squad. But there was that, oh, they're upperclassmen. We're trying to get them out to the next level, things like that. But even so somebody ended up getting hurt my freshman year, and then I ended up starting for quite a few games because that person ahead of me was hurt. And then even my sophomore year, I didn't start that year either. I probably came in within the first 5 minutes of the game, but I only started a few games my sophomore year as well. So we had the 6'9" center. His name was Prey. And then we had the power forward. His name, we called him Bad Jimmy, Frenchman. He was from France, strong as an ox, about 6'5", straight dog. But I definitely, me and him used to go at it. But like Prey was 6'9", so you can't not start your 6'9" person on the squad, biggest person on the squad. But like I used to block his shot. Me and him used to go at it, and I used to dog him. I ain't gonna hold you, and not to talk down on him, but I was better than that nigga. So it is what it is.
I feel you.
Uh, and Prey was nice. He went on to BD1. Obviously, as you learn sports and everything like that, a lot of people recruit for potential.
Right.
Nowadays, like you're not gonna not recruit somebody that's 6'9", long, athletic, because you can teach them how to do what you need them to do. Um, but so that was it. That was my first time ever not being a starter. It was crazy. So I had to adapt to that. I struggled with that for a little bit, like just knowing like I'm better than somebody and I'm not being able to start. But I still did what I did. Like you said, I got my numbers, did what I needed to do, and ultimately I was still able to get to the next level. So
That's right. So talk about the living conditions in junior college, because it ain't like you're living plush. You know what I'm
it was
saying?
actually not bad. So
Really?
it wasn't bad. Miles was like, and it gave me a false narrative of what I was going to be looking at the next level. So in Miles, it was like it's a co-ed dorm, like a big apartment. So it's like it was me, my boy Ty from Vegas that came with me. So me and him were roommates. Then we had a bathroom, and then we shared our bathroom with our French teammates. And
Mm-hmm.
then right across the hall, you had some female basketball players. Same setup. So it was co-ed dorm, scan to get in. We had washer and dryer there for the free. All of that. Nice size room, heated floors. It was cool.
Oh, y'all
So
was living good out
yeah,
there in
so
Miles.
it was solid. It was solid. So I thought that's how it was. We had buses that would take us to the games or whatever. That were solid, whatever charter buses. Um, CAF was solid, whatever may have you. It was straight. Gym was solid. We had host families that took care of us and helped us out while we was there. All of that. So it was dope. But excuse me, like I said, it created a false narrative for me because when I got to my next level, which I know we're gonna get into probably,
Yeah.
it was a little bit different.
Dang, did y'all party out there though?
Oh yeah, 100%. You find stuff to do. So we had a rodeo team. Like I said, it was a culture shock. We had a rodeo team. We're in Montana, so people walking around with cowboy boots with the spurs on them,
Right.
chewing tobacco, spitting, all that kind of stuff. It was definitely crazy coming from Vegas, seeing that. We were like, yo, what's going on? Went to my first rodeo there. That was dope. So yeah, we definitely had fun. We used to have bonfires, go out, and yeah, we made sure we had a good time for sure. Because we didn't have practice on the weekends. I found that to be a culture shock as well. Once I got to the next level, I thought that was the normal. But yeah, we practiced Monday through Friday. Saturday, Sundays we was off.
That was
So yeah,
dope.
we was getting to it on Saturdays, on Saturdays, Friday nights, and Saturdays.
So your senior year, you end up averaging the same amount of points, which I did do my research. You had 11 points a game as well.
Mm-hmm.
So how was recruiting? Obviously, it was your time to go.
Yep.
Who did you have on your radar, and what led you to go to your the college that you chose?
So I had a couple of schools I was talking to. Found me late in the process. Some found me early. I was talking to Sacramento State for a while. Good while they was recruiting me. Uh,
D1.
Yep, D1 transferring from or transitioning from my freshman year to my sophomore year of college. One thing I wanted to work on was just dribbling and shooting. So I used to be on the gun like Saturdays. Like I said, we didn't have practice. I'm on the gun making X amount of shots. Like the gun is a machine basically that goes under the hoop, shoots the ball back at you, so you don't need nobody there with you. So I'm in there shooting, getting my shots up. So my sophomore year, like yeah, I'm shooting threes, like pretty solid. Like I'm hitting them James. So in the games, obviously now like I'm not really a power forward or center no more. Like I'm like pretty much a 3-4. So like a slasher, like I can play outside, I can play inside. And what Sac State was ultimately looking for, they wanted somebody that was just gonna be on the inside. So that kind of dubbed me from them. So once they started watching me and kept watching me, they were like, we kind of really want somebody that's not really a slasher, just gonna kind of be inside. I had another school that came in late in the process. Um, they're renamed now, but they were at the time called Texas Pan A&M, which was a D1 down in Texas. I think they're Texas Pan University now or something like that. They changed their name, but they came in super late. Like I think the season was already over for my sophomore year, and I was talking to them for a good minute. My coaches back in Vegas, my AAU coaches, they were plugging me with some people as well, and they ended up signing somebody from I forget where. So I didn't go there, and then the last D1 I had looking at me was Chicago State. And I think I effed that one up because I didn't want to go somewhere cold.
Yeah. That's real. And you
So
probably didn't want to go to Chicago State either, because they have. I don't think they ever been good.
yeah, which is cool. I mean, whatever. It was still D1, which was the goal. And I was still kind of on some immature thinking. I even looked at their jerseys. I think their coach had hit me up, and I think I went on their website and looked at their jerseys, and I was like, that doesn't look D1. and I think I dubbed it. I didn't. I was like, nah, I'm gonna pursue other options,
My man
which
didn't
is
go to
crazy.
the,
I was pretty immature when it came to recruiting. Honestly, like I blocked some blessings for sure, in my opinion. Looking back
my,
at it.
my boy said, can't wear 'em. I'm good. Hey, so you end up choosing Chowan University, right?
Late in the process too. So sophomore year goes by, we're done. I had a few other D2s looking at me as well, in Arkansas, Barry University down in Florida. So I had quite a few different places looking at me, and then I was being real skeptical and all that just on where I wanted to go, and I ended up waiting super super long, and I got paranoid. I thought, damn, I'm waiting too long. They're gonna get my scholarship away, so I gotta hurry up and sign. So Chowan actually had recruited me after my freshman year. I don't know where they seen me play while I was at Miles, but they asked me to come after my freshman year, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna go back and do another year at Miles or whatever to see what else I could get. And lo and behold, they were still recruiting me, whatever. So they got a new coach, new coaching staff and everything. And like probably a month or so before school starts, they recruit me again, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna come. So he sent me my letter of intent in the mail, signed it, sent it back, like bet, going to Chowan. And then right after that, like two of the other schools that I thought had gave up, they ended up hitting me up, and I had already signed. So,
What schools was that?
it was University of Arkansas, I think it was Pine Bluff.
D1,
No, they was D2.
D2. Oh, you said
Yeah,
Arkansas. I thought you said okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
All right,
they hit me up, and I had already signed, so I was like, whatever, it is what it is. So I didn't take no visit, don't know where I'm going. I just know it's in North Carolina.
you good at not taking visits.
I'm wilding, right? Just out here going off the faith of the Lord, brother.
Amen, amen. So you get to Chowan, man. It's in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, Murfreesboro, North Carolina.
So like, was that HBCU, right?
Nah, so it was in the
Was it?
CIAA HBCU conference, but it was the only non-HBCU in the conference. But it was all pretty much all black people there.
That's
All black people
crazy.
there for the most part. But it was a PWI, but pretty much all black people went there from the DMV area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. A lot of people from Florida was there, Raleigh, North Carolina, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of black people there for sure.
So when you got there, like how was it like your first few days there? I'm assuming you transferred what in the fall? Was it did you go in the summertime?
Yeah, it was in the fall. I got there in the summer. So probably around August I went out there. It was wild. So I flew out there. Assistant coach picked me up. My assistant coach, he played for Florida at the time. Well, when he was in college, he played with Udonis Haslam down there in Florida. He was a Gator, played overseas. He was real good. But he picked me up from Norfolk Airport, and I'm like, okay, cool, it's the city, whatever. Not realizing I'm in Virginia. And then we got to driving, and it's like dark woods. I'm like, bro, where he taking me to get? I ain't take no visits, so it's dark. I got in at like 10 o'clock at night. So we're driving about an hour and a half down to North Carolina, and it's crazy. So we pull up, you take me to the dorm, and remember I told you how I was living in Miles.
Right.
Completely different situation. So all transfers at Chowan, they automatically start off in the freshman dorm.
Mm.
So pull up, and it's legit. It's a dorm, so it's a big ass building. Go inside. I got a freshman roommate, cool, whatever. I had met him on Facebook or whatever already. Um, but yeah, it's legit. Like hall, bathroom is on the hall. Everybody uses that bathroom. So I'm used to, remember, bathrooms in the room. Me, there's four of us sharing it. Cool. That's what I'm used to. This is the whole, everybody on the hall sharing a bathroom.
Mm.
Showers, all that kind of, I'm like, yo, what is this? Needless to say, I only stayed there for a semester. After the season started, I said, Coach, yeah, nah, this ain't it. So I ended up getting moved to some apartments called White's Crossings, where all of our teammates are, not all of us, but it was probably what, two, four, six, eight people to a suite, living room, two bathrooms. So a lot of my teammates were in there, so we all moved in there together. A couple non-teammates, but I was good after that. But yeah, that whole transfer situation, I was like, yo. And then it was kind of like when I moved to Vegas too. Getting there, didn't know anybody. Obviously, met people on the team, talked it up with them. They showed me around and all that. But yeah, right away I was like, okay. But it was like, again, it was all black people, so it was like, cool. Montana was the complete opposite. So
Right.
it was cool. Meshed with some people right off the bat and got going.
What was that hooping like down there? Like how was the squad?
She was crazy, man. So like starting off again, a lot of returners that came back. The previous coach had a weird program. He was having people just come try out that was on campus, all kind of stuff going on. New coach. played for Marshall. He wasn't going for that. It was like brought the returners back. He was like, I don't know nobody. It's like we gonna see who's doing what. But yeah, super competitive. We doing runs at first. I'm out of shape, so I'm like struggling. Like it was bad. Like, and again, it's the NCAA D2 now, so it's completely different than
Different.
what I'm used to at Juco. It's like, nah, we work out on the weekends, we practice on the weekends. You got the NCAA rules. You meeting with the compliance director, all that stuff. So I'm like getting used to all this stuff. So we got preseason workouts, all of that, conditioning, all that. They like Tay out of shape. Tay suck. Nah, he's about to be trash. So I don't start the first game. I come off the bench,
Yep.
and after that, it was lights out. Started
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. So you played in 27 games. You started 25. You averaged 29 minutes a game. So out of 40 minutes, you only on the bench for 10 minutes. What you averaged? I think 10 points a game your first year.
Yeah, so I want to
First
say
year, there?
like 10-6, 10-5, something like that.
Yep, 10 and 6. Yep. So yeah, so you averaged 10 and 6. And what are the teams in your conference? You said like Bowie State.
Yeah, Bowie State, Virginia State, Lincoln University, Shaw,
Wait,
Winston-Salem State.
Lincoln University, the one from Missouri?
No, one in PA.
Oh, I'm about to say, boy, that's far.
One in PA. Yeah, Winston-Salem State, uh, Fayetteville State, Elizabeth City State University. So yeah, all them HBCUs on the Northeast, all in there.
Was there any dudes that year that you were like, oh yeah, he's tough? Like,
Oh yeah, 100%. Buddy from Elizabeth City State. He's actually my frat brother. He was older than me, but he's a Harlem Globetrotter now. If you ever seen a viral video, dude that slams the ball from half court and then throws the oop to himself. Yeah, he was Elizabeth City State. Probably one of the only people he caught me my junior year for sure. Caught me on a baseline, jump out of the
oh
gym
my,
for sure. Oh yeah,
oh
100%. I wasn't even guarding him.
dang,
It was like a fast break. I don't know who was guarding him, but they weren't there. So he get the ball in the corner, so I'm running back, and he took the baseline 2 dribbles. I go up. I can jump pretty high. Hey,
he
buddy,
thought.
he kept going up. I said, oh shit! So I kind of moved out the way, but he absolutely caught me. Absolutely caught me. But yeah, he was super dope. It was a dude from Bowie. I forget his name. I think his last name was Westmoreland. He was a dog. Uh, Big dude named Karan. I think he went to Shaw.
Shaw,
Uh,
yo.
he was a dog. So yeah,
So your junior year was that the year you guys went to the CIA tournament? You was going crazy.
yeah. So CIAA tournament that year down in Charlotte. First round, we're going back and forth with the team. I ended up getting a game winning three. I think I had a double double that game as well. Game winning three to put us in the second round. So that was super dope. My first time being in the tournament down there. Got us to the second round that year. We ended up losing the second round, but first time for me playing down there, it was a great experience for sure.
All right. Then your senior year come, you're averaging 32 minutes a game, so you ain't coming out that drink.
Yeah. So year was
It's only one game. You started 25 out of 24 games. And then obviously your points went up. You was averaging 12 points a game. So that was kind of, you had to up your scoring up a little bit. So
mhm.
so is your senior year, do you are you looking at like, all right, I'm playing basketball, am I gonna make this a career? Like what was your mindset? Like, do I just want to graduate? Was you
No,
just like
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Was trying to pursue overseas. Definitely top of my mind. Like shooting threes now. Like I'm definitely can be an outside inside player. My coach he played overseas. A couple of my coaches did. So they were just telling me like, yo, you can go make a lot of money just off what you're doing, just your talent alone, and you work hard. So that was definitely top priority. Obviously, I transferred, so I was a business major, so I'm taking accounting classes, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I want to get my degree for sure because obviously basketball is not going to last forever. I could go get hurt, tear my ACL, do whatever, and not be able to play no more. So also one of the first people in my family to graduate, so that was top priority as well. So I actually did have the opportunity after I graduated, after the season, go back home. hadn't graduated yet because again I transferred, so I had to finish up a couple more credits.
So you
Um,
stayed an extra semester, right?
yeah, so I ended up going back. I ended up staying the whole year.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
yeah, I ended up staying the whole year. But my coach hit me up that summer before I went back, and he was like, "Hey, I got an opportunity in Spain right now. You got your passport?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can get it." Like ASAP, what's up? And he's like, "I got an opportunity. Like, you want to go? It's paying this, it's doing that." And then you got the option to sign on to another season right after this one ends because it was like mid-season for them already. And I was like, I ended up passing it up. And ultimately, that was because I hadn't graduated yet, and I
Right.
thought that was more. I thought
More
that was more
important.
important than playing basketball at the time. So I was like, I can go graduate, take the classes, finish up, and I'll just keep working out while I'm still down there, and then I'll hit you up and we'll revisit, see what we can do after that. And that was cool, but ultimately, when you take that time off and you're away from being super competitive in the NCAA, like you lose a step for sure. Like,
Sure.
so yeah, I was still working out and all that, but I had pledged, so I'm doing that kind of stuff now.
Yeah, let's
So
talk about that. So you pledged. Oh man,
yeah,
you
yeah.
pledged.
So I
So
pledged my senior year of basketball. I pledged Kappa Alpha Psi. So pledged during the basketball season actually. So that last game when I had
how was that, bro? I know that was brutal. Cause
it
honestly,
was
we
it
talk.
was hard.
I know what they do and all that. Whatever, whatever.
Hey, my fraternity is a non-hazing fraternity, so I don't know what you're speaking of.
Okay,
Uh,
whatever. Whatever you say, buddy. But yeah, go ahead.
but no, it was hard for sure. Just going through that process and learning everything I needed to know for my fraternity, plus trying to be competitive on the basketball team. It was definitely hard. I think my last game, right before I played, I think I had 30, and then after that, you kind of just see my numbers start going down a little bit, spiking here and there, but it was fun. I won't take back nothing for sure. Like, it was a great thing, great opportunity. Met some lifelong brothers for sure. Um, Great experience. I didn't know anything about any fraternities, sororities, or anything before I went to Chowan. Like, obviously, you see the movies, Stomp the Yard, and all that. I don't have anybody in my family that's Greek, so being able to now pass that down to my kids and start something, I think that's just super, super dope.
Yeah, that's dope. So when you were pledging, they made you shave your head off, your mustache and everything, right?
Well, I didn't even have a mustache at the time. I was still baby. I just started getting all this like over the last few years. So, but yeah, no, that's a
Uh,
part of it. That we gladly did. That's just something that we agreed to do afterwards, as we were crossing. So yeah, it just shows that you completed the process and you're now officially in the organization. And yes, the body is a lovely thing.
all right, so let's just backtrack. Your senior year, you got an MVP award. Where was that from? Was that from the CIA tournament?
So that was my junior year.
The junior year,
Um,
okay.
yeah, so I had the CIAA Most Valuable Player of the Game. That was the game. I hit the game winning shot to go into the next round.
Mhm.
Um, I was played newcomer of the week a few times my junior year as well because I was new to the CIAA. So yeah, couple records still on there for rebounds and things like that for our Chowan stats, which I know they're getting passed up now because they got some dogs down there right now. They're in a different conference now, but there's some dogs down there right now that's going crazy in Conference Carolinas.
That's what's up. So overall, like, how was your experience at Chowan? Did you enjoy it?
100%, man. Yeah, 100%. It was again. I've been in Minnesota, Vegas, Montana, and again being down there exposed to new things. Again, the fraternities, sororities, and the culture of North Carolina. Like I had never been to North Carolina before, so it opened me up to magnitude of different things from an HBCU perspective. Even though my school was not one, being able to travel to all the other ones and visit with those people, having my frat brothers in these different schools, and now having those connections, it was definitely a great time for sure.
That's what's up. So after your senior year, obviously you said you had to stay another year. Um, it got to a point where you had to make a decision. Do I still want to pursue basketball, or do I want to come home and just get to work? So talk to me about that. Like, how was that process? Like, was your mind made up, or did you have any second guess, or were you just like, I'm just gonna come to the
Nah, it
crib?
was like I said, sitting that year of not playing competitively, it was like by the time I was graduating, I was like I was good. Like
You was
wasn't even thinking
over it.
about. I wasn't even thinking about basketball no more. Like I would miss it as I seen my older teammates that were still there playing, like going to their games, watching them play. I was like, ah, damn, palm sweating. Like, damn. But at that point, it was like, nah, I'm ready to just be an adult, get into the workforce, start getting this bread, and just start enjoying life. Honestly, I got my degree, so that's kind of what my focus shifted to immediately after I graduated.
Yeah, I got a question. Just a side note. How do you feel about the NIL stuff right now?
It's dope, man. I wish we would have had that stuff when we was in college, because again, like you spend a lot of time like only way I could make money when I was playing ball was by doing work study stuff or working in the off business office or something like that to make a little bread. But I mean, you really spend the majority of your time literally practicing your craft and doing schoolwork. Like that's literally what you're there for, to be a student and help this help this university win games.
Right.
So I think it's dope. I think it's well overdue. It allows them to again make money off of what they're doing and their God given abilities, and they're putting in the work to be able to do that. And you can't go work anywhere else at the time, so I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I had a class called like persuasion and argumentation. I think I had argued against it was argumentation, and I had argued against like players getting paid or like the
Yeah,
love of the
wow.
game. I was a goofy, bro. You know, I went D3, so I was just happy to be there. You know, and they pay. And you know what? They paid for me to go to school, so I was good, bro. Like I was straight, so I was just like, no, man, we, you know. But now that like I'm like, I really feel like if it would have happened for us, it would have been totally different. Like we, even like the transfer stuff, all the eligibility stuff. So think about that. Like
Mm,
you had to stay another year. You could have played another year, boosted, got
facts.
better, or transferred. You know what I'm saying? And got a better look and did your thing and got more people seeing you. So I definitely think it's dope. No, if you're transferring every year, that's ridiculous. I kind of don't like
Yeah,
those guys.
yeah, that's wild.
You know, you're staying for 8 and 9 years. I get it. You get in the bag, but come on, bro. Go to
Yeah,
work. Like, stop
100%.
playing. You're 27 and you're sleeping in the freshman dorms. Like, what is you doing? Like,
Yeah,
what's wrong with you? So yeah, so I do like it, but at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. I'm happy for the people that's being able to benefit from that. But I definitely, like you said, I wish we had something, man, because
yeah,
it was hard, man. Like you got that meal plan, them cars, the meals run out, man.
yeah.
You
You
gotta
flip.
go ask the freshman for a meal or
Yeah.
something. I know.
Obviously, I don't know if y'all had it. Like we had per diem and things like that. Like when you're there for
No,
holidays,
we
they
don't get no per diem D3,
oh
bro.
well,
Sorry.
we had per diem and things like that. So it definitely helped out to an extent, but it's nothing like obviously there's levels to it. So D1 you get way more, D2 you get a decent amount, but
What did you get for your per diem? Was it like weekly or like or the monthly?
so it just depended. So it depended on if it was like holiday time. So like typically we couldn't go home for certain breaks and things like that because we had tournaments. So like we got to practice and stuff. Like you get bread so you can make sure you're fed, whatever. So we used to pull our stuff together, go get rotisserie chickens, whatever, all of that, so we could just chip in that way, and then you could keep some, all that kind of stuff. So
Okay. So you end up graduating. A year later, it's time to come home, go to work. So you
yeah,
get home and you get a job right away, and the first thing you do, you bought a car.
yeah. So obviously I got my degree in I majored in management, minored in marketing. So I was looking for marketing firm things, um, all anything that could do with marketing. I was looking for that. Um, wasn't having any luck. I started at a couple different companies, and it just seemed like pyramid scheme type stuff. Once I got on, I'm like, nah, I'm good on that, and ended up finding my company that I'm still at right now. Forget where I seen it. I don't know if it was an ad online or whatever it was, but I seen the base salary and what they were looking for. I see that they were a big sponsor of NCAA, and I was like, okay, cool. I played NCAA bet, and yeah, I ended up going interviewed, did my 3 interviews, and got hired. Ended up buying a car like within a couple months after I started with them because I had to have some wheels.
And I was
And
with you all the time.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. We had to have some wheels. So yeah, end up getting my whip. And like I said, I'm still with that company today. Be 10 years this June. So yeah, we rocking.
So talk about that, man. Because obviously I've watched your growth as a professional. You started at the bottom
Yeah.
and you literally work yourself up. So just talk about like the importance of always um thinking about the future. You know, it might not be what you want right away. But if you put that work in, and obviously you
Yeah.
manifest and you got goals and you want more for yourself, just talk about the grind, man. Like just starting low and then like to where you at right now.
Yeah. So I mean, like with anything, like obviously we play sports. Um, you're not always going to be a starter. You're not always going to be the best person in the room, the best person on the court or field, whatever may have you. But if you work your ass off, you can outperform somebody. So I think I forget who said it, but I know Kevin Garnett used to say it. Um, you can outwork anybody, and talent doesn't get you but so far. So if you have a hard work intensity, you can make it wherever you want to be. So same thing applies to the workforce. So I started off in the trainee program, um, went through that cycle, got promoted, transferred out to Virginia, went through that time, got promoted pretty quickly as well. Um, so yeah, I've been promoted probably every 2 years since I've been with the company. And
Bro, okay, I'm looking at your LinkedIn. You've been promoted one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, like 10 times, bro.
yeah, so like I
In
said,
10 years, so you're literally getting promoted every year.
yeah, like I said, just about every 2 years I get promoted. I think the role I'm in right now is the longest I've been in a role since I've been with my company.
Right.
Um, and I'm at a pretty high level within the company now. So which is cool. Like I said, you bust your ass, you work hard, set goals for yourself, and you
Right.
can achieve them. And that just comes with anything you do. If you work hard, you can go. The sky's the limit.
Yes, and then talk about this being like a black man in these roles. Like I know like some people for some reason like I feel like s- not all of us, but it's like, oh, I can't do that. They ain't gonna mess with me. Talk about that, like being in your position. Obviously, you got an amazing role. You actually a leader in your company. So just talk about that, like,
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all had those thoughts before. Biggest thing I've done is look for those that are doing it, and that will get rid of that excuse. Because if you can find just one, that means it can be done. And then you talk to that person, find a mentor in them, and figure out what they did to get to that role. So now I'm blessed enough to be able to do that for others. But
right?
biggest thing I had to do was look for those because obviously I've been here almost 10 years. Like had times where I wanted to quit. Like, I don't know, I'm good on this company. I want to leave. This ain't working no more. And grace of God, always something always pulls me back, and I'm able to keep pushing. So biggest thing I say is find somebody that has done it, and that gets rid of that excuse.
All right. So now you're currently residing in New York,
Yep,
man.
the big
Back
house.
to the cold.
Back to the cold. It's freezing right now, actually.
How's that? Because you was in Virginia. Obviously, I came and visit you out there. How's living in New York? Is what you like thought it was? Is it like how you see it on TV or what?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah. Like, obviously, my mom's from upstate. My grandmother's from Brooklyn. I've never personally been in the city until moving here. I've been upstate, but it's definitely like you see on TV and memes and videos you see online. Um, it's not terrible, but it's definitely different from all the places that I've lived. Obviously, I have a family now, so it's completely different. My wife has this is her first time living outside of VA, so bit different for her as well. So we thugging it out together for sure.
For sure. So let's talk about that, man. You got married. Was it 2019?
I mean, you tell me, best man.
It was, bro, because
Yeah,
yeah,
2019.
2019. Because look, I got married
Yeah.
2018. You was married 2019. So man, so I'll tell you a funny story. When we was driving, so we drove up there to Ashante's wedding. And the whole time, me and Derek was driving, and Tutu didn't. She didn't want to drive, at all. And I'm looking at her like, "What's wrong with you?" She's talking about, "I don't feel good. I'm sick." Bro, did you know the whole time she was
Whole time
pregnant?
she pregnant. Whole time she pregnant.
So yeah, man, that's crazy. So let's just talk about that, like the importance of like finding your soulmate, man, being married, buckling down. Obviously we both was in each other's wedding. Obviously, just how close we are. Obviously, we best friends for sure. Talk about that, bro, because like that's you grew up with that. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I grew
Mhm.
up with that with my grandparents, but I didn't grow up that with my actual parents. Just talk about like the foundation your parents gave you. Um, So you can, and did that make you want to do that as well, or what was
Yeah,
your?
for sure. Like seeing my parents, my aunt and uncle, my mom's sister and her husband, just seeing that. Like obviously my dad, he had been divorced before, but like you say, I grew up seeing that every day. So not
Right.
always good, not always great. Um, but just being able to see that, absolutely you always aspire to have that for yourself one day. So um, obviously college was fun, high school was fun, single life is cool, all of that. But ultimately, I think everybody deep down inside wants to have their person.
Exactly.
So knowing that, and once you find your person, it's like bet. Like you couldn't pay me to go back in the streets, bro. Like for
Mm-mm.
what?
No way.
Like having
Bro,
your
I don't even.
person that
Hey,
cares about you. Like, bro, what?
bro, I don't even know how to talk to other people. Like, for real.
Straight up. Like it's nothing like having your person that you know got your back, that cares about you. Like my wife books my appointments for me. Like she makes sure, hey, it's time for you to go to the dentist. It's time for you to go get your eyes checked. Like I don't have to worry about that stuff because I know she's gonna make sure I'm good. So like it's beautiful having that partner for you. Like it's nothing else compares to it.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Monty, man. And so with that, obviously you end up having kids, man. You have a
Yep.
daughter, you have a son. Talk about fatherhood. Um, you grew up in the house with your father. How has he played an important role in your life? But talk about like your experience as a father. Like how's that been for you? And talk about the importance of being active and present, and actually, especially our little daughters, man, because man, girls, our little girls, they need their fathers, man, just as much as they need their moms. So let's just
Yeah.
talk about fatherhood and what that means to you.
Yeah. So like you said, I have a daughter. My daughter is 7. She just turned 7. My son is 2. Um,
Little Tay
super
Tay.
important. Like it's dope being a dad. Like highs, lows, good, bad. Like you've now implanted something, and God has trusted you with something to be on this earth with and lead them the right way. So it's like it's cool because it's like they're learning to be kids and learning to grow up, and you're like learning how to be a parent. Like even though you had somebody that was your parent and you seen them and what they did and right, wrong, all of that, it's like it's nothing like learning as you go through the process yourself. So it's super dope, man. Like having my daughter, and just watching her grow, and now having my son looks just like me. My daughter looks just like my wife, and being able to
Crazy.
be present. Like obviously, the role that I'm in, I work quite a bit, so my wife holds down the fort for sure. And just making sure that I am around when I can be, which is tough, honestly, because it's like sometimes you work and then it's like, cool, I want to just be my wife, but you still got to make time for your kids, obviously. Um, and it's just a learning process, man. It's like just enjoying the ride. Like there's no right or wrong way to do stuff. You just figure out what works best for you and your household and your wife and what you can do to make sure that you lead them the right way. So I'm
That's a,
enjoying it. All is well.
they get on your nerves though, don't they?
100%. But it's like it's cool because it's like you get to do things like maybe you didn't get to do. So like I never got to go to Disney or none of that kind of stuff growing up. So like we took our kids to Disney last April. So they've been out of the country already. They've been to Jamaica, like doing stuff like that. It's like it's dope to be able to say like I've done that and I wasn't able to do that as a kid.
Yeah, bro. You know what's crazy, man? And I feel like this about a lot of like people I know and like my friend group. Like our kids are so spoiled, bro. Like
100%.
the life they live, like they got their own everything. They can get whatever they want, whenever they want. Like they're never lacking nothing, and they're never wanting for anything. And they do want it or need it, they already got it. It's just and it just talk about that as being able to just get it. Like, all right, I got you. Like, but man, ain't that crazy though, bro? Like, I
Yeah,
swear, bro. Like,
it
it's
is.
different, bro. Like, I feel like I'm soft, like for real. But I mean, in a good way. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And I mean, I say no a lot. Like I'm the no dad for sure. Um,
See, I'm opposite.
but
That's crazy. I'll be
yeah,
like, okay,
I'm a no dad. Like their mom give them everything. Like I'm definitely I say no quicker than she does for sure. But yeah, it's a good thing and a bad thing I say because it's like you want them to have those experiences and all that, but you also got to find the balance because you don't want them to devalue hard work and
right.
knowing the value of working hard to be able to achieve or get something. So I think for me personally, that's me finding that balance. That's why I have to probably say yeah a little bit more, but I think that's why I say no. It's like no, you got to figure out like you got to work for it. Like everything isn't free. Like everything's not gonna be given to you. You gotta bust your ass. It's not gonna always just be like peaches and cream.
No,
So, but it's definitely like you said, it is dope to be able to provide and do those things that we weren't necessarily able to have and get from our parents.
no, for sure. Yeah, man, it's funny, bro. I just be laughing at it like, yeah, and then you just see you see yourself and your kids, and then your kids have their own little personalities, and they take and pull stuff from your wife and yourself,
Yeah,
and I just be laughing like, this is crazy. Like, this is little me right here. Like, yeah, man, I know you feel the same way.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, man, we're gonna wrap it up. Obviously, I want to give you your flowers. I don't
Appreciate
think
it,
me
bro.
and you have never gotten into an argument about nothing. Obviously,
Nah,
you my best
which is
friend,
crazy.
man. What'd you say?
I think it's crazy. We really have it.
Bro,
Like
never, like, never disagreed about nothing stupid.
like
Like,
you can
I
tell me
don't
when
think,
I'm wrong. I can tell you when you
yeah,
wrong.
like, we were
Like
able to talk to each other without,
yeah,
like, being mad and all that. And honestly, bro, like, I look up to you. I've always looked up to you, obviously, because you're a foot taller than me. But I just know, like, how hard you work, man. Like, you always worked hard. And I know, like, once you were climbing your ladder, I always, like, would talk to you, like, man, I need to make this bread. And you always tell me, like, bro, it's coming to stick to it. And that was a part of me, like, even, like, with the career I'm in, like, I know you were a big part of it because you always told me, do it. Like, go for it. You can do it. And, like, everything I've done, like, I know you were a big part of it. So I want to give you your flowers with that too, bro. And you still climbing. I'm still trying to climb. Um, and it's funny, bro. Like, I just, man, we used to talk so much, and now we can't talk as much. But when we talk, it's like we ain't missed a beat.
yeah, nah.
You know what I'm
Right where we left
saying?
off. Like
No,
we
for
can
sure.
literally go a month and a half without talking, and it's like, yo, you good? We talk for a few
Yep.
minutes, chop it up, and
Or I'll be
like
like, hey, can't trust you.
can't trust you. You scheming.
Scheming. Hey, for real, bro. But yeah, bro, just let you know, bro. I love you, bro. Like, you my brother for real. Tutu love you to death, bro. Like, for real.
Definitely love y'all too, man, for sure.
But is there anything before we wrap up? Just tell the people, like, any words of encouragement, any motivation, for the viewers that's watching.
Yeah, man. Kind of we already touched on it a little bit, but like never short yourself. Like whether it's your family, whether it's your career, anything that you're doing, sports for the young people that's out there that's playing sports, trying to get college degrees and all of that. No matter what you're doing, like don't short yourself. Anything is possible for sure, as long as you got the effort and you're working hard. Like surround yourself with positive people that are kind of on the same wavelength as you. Like you might have to cut some people off, but like have positive people around you that's gonna help you get to the next level and where you're trying to go. And God gonna do the rest.